All right, in the world of new video game releases, things are certainly slowing down a bit this November. Nevertheless, though, we do have some things to look forward to. Where Winds Meet is an open-world action-adventure RPG set in ancient China and threaded with wuxia fantasy. The game also has a rather unique twist on it in that it almost functions as two games in one. Depending on what you prefer, you can literally play the game entirely as a single-player action RPG or as a full-on open-world, kind of like a quasi MMO. It's both of these things in one. How this works is after a few hours of playing through first the tutorial and then a little introduction to the campaign, you eventually unlock online mode, and by simply flipping a switch, you can convert the entire game world into a shared multiplayer space. Both of these are made up of the same zones with basically identical topography, points of interest, cities, enemy strongholds, the whole shebang, but they also each feature different types of content, quests, modes, and of course, one of them has other players running around in the world. It's like a fairly unique structure for a game world. In terms of gameplay, it features a rather in-depth action combat system. You've got all of the expected light, heavy, charge attacks and combos, along with defensive options with dodging, blocking, and parrying, on top of having two separate special ability and attack bars. This is a weapon-based game. Bulk of your combat skills beyond those basic attacks are determined by the type of weapons you have equipped. There are spears, swords, twin blades, umbrellas, bows, zweihanders, rope darts, and fans. All of these different weapon classes, each of which come with their own special attacks and abilities, and having unique named weapons for each of the classes, and from which you have two of those equipped at any given time. The open world is one big seamless play space. You've got no loading screens apart from whenever you fast travel, and zones consist of the expected mixture of natural landscapes with pockets of civilization, big open grassy fields, you got rivers and lakes, rolling hills, large mountainous areas, and dense forest. Spotted all throughout here are points of interest and places to explore. There are NPC towns with villagers and some impressively large cities. And then of course there are the combat focused points of interest full of enemies and loot to discover. You've got tiny camps with small groups of bandits or larger strongholds of enemies with things like castles, abandoned ruins, and military outpost. There's also a variety of hidden underground dungeons full not only of enemies and loot, but also a variety of puzzles for you to figure out. And then also all throughout the world are these specifically marked locations for boss encounters with some rather challenging foes for you to take on inside. While out exploring and talking to NPCs, doing quests, there's also all sorts of different events and mini games you can engage with. There's actually quite a lot of traversal options in this game. Beyond a horse mount, you can double jump, air dash, and glide. You can climb up pretty much everything. You've got a wall run and the ability to leap across massive gaps. And once again, you have all of this in either the single player or the online multiplayer mode. Swapping just takes the exact same world map and turns it into that shared multiplayer space, with every zone having the same landscape, the same placement of points of interest, the same town locations. All of that stays as is, but then you see other people running around all over the place. And it also again opens up some different group focused activities with group boss hunts, public events, new dungeon locations, and some PvP options as well. Now, I did do a full video as part of a sponsor a few months ago in which we cover a lot of this stuff in way more detail, so if you're at all interested, give that a look. But frankly, this is one of the games this month that I'm most keen to jump back into. Like, I had a pretty good time with it. Where Winds Meet will be launching on November 14th. It is coming to PC and PlayStation. Before we continue on with this month's list though, let's get a quick word from today's sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Duet Night Abyss. This is a fantasy adventure hybrid action RPG featuring a dual narrative and high degrees of character freedom. In battles, you'll be able to switch between melee and ranged weapons, not limited to a single weapon class or play style, choosing from a wide variety of different weapons, including whip blades, crossbows, sniper rifles, grenade launchers, and high-tech hover guns. For the official launch of Duet Night Abyss, they have completely overhauled the original core logic of the game. So initially, this was a game with your typical gacha systems. However, after feedback during closed beta testing, they removed the weapon and character banners, so now all player power is farmable in-game exclusively. Monetization has shifted to character cosmetics with skins, accessories, effects, etc. that have zero impact on your stats or power. They've also got custom dyes available for character and weapon skins, with their plan being to continuously release new cosmetics post-release, being totally free-to-play friendly with zero gacha or stamina limits. Duet Night Abyss is currently now available on PC, iOS, and Android. You can download right now to unlock 7 free characters through launch events and enjoy 55 plus free pulls for the cosmetic banner right away. All right, now back into the list. There is a new Call of Duty dropping this month, this year's installment being Black Ops 7, developed by Treyarch and Raven Software. With it comes a cooperative campaign, the usual multiplayer experience, and the return of the round-based zombies mode. When checking out the game's Steam page for information, most of what I saw there was pre-order bonuses and season pass details. That's fantastic. But some actual bullet point features of like this year's content include multiplayer this year is going to be mostly focused on 6 vs 6 across a total of 16 maps. There's also this objective-based skirmish mode, which allows for 20 vs 20 combat on 2 large maps. There are 30 customizable loadout weapons, with more planned to be added post-launch. You have got the weapon prestige system, which can unlock additional cosmetics for your weapons of choice. New to Black Ops 7's multiplayer is the overclock upgrade system, which will be granting additional abilities to player selection of lethal and tactical equipment, score streaks, and field upgrades. Players can activate combat specialties that will be granting in-game buffs with specific combinations of perks similar to Black Ops 6. And then there is Zombies mode. As usual, this lets 1 to 4 players fight endless hordes of undead, increasing in number and difficulty with every round. The mode also features a few maps. Each of these will have a main quest that players must complete, along with a number of side quests and Easter eggs to discover. And there's some new zombie variants added as well, including Survival, a selection of smaller maps with no story or objectives, focused entirely on round progression. There's also Cursed, which readjusts the gameplay mechanics for a more difficult experience, and Dead Ops Arcade 4, a new iteration of the standalone top-down shooter mode that was featured in some previous Black Ops titles. As for the campaign, it will be set in 2035, 10 years after the events of Black Ops 2 2012's edition. Yeah, I don't know, maybe I'll play this. However, since it's launching on the same day as Where Winds Meet, I am more inclined to check out that game, especially curious to see all the MMO stuff it apparently has. But you know, it is Call of Duty, and I'm fairly certain a few of you watching this will play it, so I wanted to, of course, mention it. If I get time this month, I might give it a look as well. Black Ops 7 will be launching on November 14th for PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. Solo Leveling Arise Overdrive is a third-person action RPG set in the world of the popular webtoon with over 14 billion views worldwide. The description of this game is kind of hilarious. They say you are tasked with helping Sung Jin-woo grow from his humble E-rank beginnings to be a lowly E-rank trying to rise. Key features of the game include you'll be following the original story from the webtoon along with some new adventures exclusive to the game. It's got dynamic animated combat that evolves with a choice of weapons and skill combos. You can dodge monster attacks with extreme evasion, not just regular evasion, and land powerful counterattacks with the perfect parry. You will build your own unique combat style through a skill tree that branches into 8 different job advancements, overwhelm the battlefield with abilities unlocked through your Monarch's Awakening, and experience Sung Jin-woo's transformation into the ultimate Monarch of Shadows. It's got 4-player co-op raids where you will take on mighty commanders, and a crafting system where you can forge weapons from the parts of monsters you defeat. Combat and visuals look pretty cool. The narrative around this I don't really know much about, but I'm interested in giving it a go if I have the time. Solo Leveling Arise Overdrive will be launching on November 24th, coming to PC and Xbox. And then lastly in this section, while not technically launching in November, I am just tossing it on the list anyways because it's likely going to be the game I spend probably the most time playing this month. That is Arc Raiders. The game is actually officially releasing on October 30th. I've been waiting on this for quite a long time though, after having played multiple pre-release builds of the game. I just really like it, and I'm super pumped it is finally here. I expect at least the first 2 weeks of November, this is mostly what I'm going to be doing, playing a ton of Arc Raiders. Now, if you haven't caught the memo, this is the latest title from Embark Studios. It is a PvEVP extraction game, but beyond the basic extraction formula, the game does a few things quite well, which has made it stand apart from others in the genre. It's got rather impressive and deadly AI enemies called Arc that are a literal, real threat for you to deal with. It's not just something to walk by as you fight other players. You've got to pay attention to these. It's also got some pretty top-notch visuals and audio, which combine to create a really good atmosphere. It's a rather unique, almost survival horror-like experience. If you play the game solo, it can be actually pretty spooky with how dangerous these enemies are. The game's performance is like S tier. It just runs incredibly well. It's also a third-person game, which I really like. It's got solid feeling gunplay, interesting loot, not overly complicated consumables, some really really good quick play options where you can drop in with some randomized gear and items, and some nice progression where you can enhance your playstyle or enhance your abilities based on your preferred playstyle. All of this and more has resulted in what is easily one of the most hyped up extraction game launches we have seen in years. I myself am really into it. So yeah, while technically it launched a couple days ago, Arc Raiders is on this list because it's what I'm going to be playing for a good chunk of November. All right, so those are the main games I am most interested in for the month of November. However, as always, we've got a few honorable mentions. The Last Caretaker is a first-person survival crafting adventure game. You play as a reawakened machine with a mission to secure humanity's future, crafting tools and weapons from salvaged technology, navigating a treacherous ocean world, and exploring forgotten facilities that hold the key to humanity's survival. You will care for and grow human seeds, managing crucial systems like incubation temperature, nutrient flow, and memory data integration, unlock advanced biopods and synthetic caretakers to accelerate development and ensure successful revival. You'll have to defend the Lazarus complex from these rogue machines as well as environmental threats, building automated defenses, upgrading mobile platforms, and deploying countermeasures during storms and system breaches. And the ultimate goal here is to try to restore and reactivate the ancient Moses launch infrastructure to send this reborn humanity beyond the drowning world, scavenge for launch codes, refine fuel, and rebuild navigation AI systems to ensure mission success. A fairly unique looking and sounding game, The Last Caretaker will be launching on November 6th, coming to Steam Early Access. There is also a demo available, so you can try it at any time. Possessors is described as a fast-paced action side-scroller with combat inspired by platform fighters, a story told through dangerous characters, set in a deep interconnected world ready for exploration. The game takes place across this interconnected sprawl of a destroyed megacity in which you will explore collapsed skyscrapers, abandoned aquariums, and more, all of which riddled with secrets. You'll choose multiple paths with an open-ended structure as you look to uncover the truth behind the catastrophe, meeting a cast of engaging characters, each with their own story to follow in the aftermath of the devastation. Gameplay is centered around tight, fast-paced platforming with a range of unique movement abilities that help aid in this tense, precise combat as you balance ground and air attacks, replete with combos and juggles while encountering a variety of deadly enemies. Progression will have you finding and unlocking an array of powerful weapons and upgrades to bolster your arsenal and unlock previously inaccessible areas. Possessors will be launching on November 11th, coming to PC and PlayStation. One of the most popular extraction shooters to date is finally getting its 1.0 update this month, and that is Escape from Tarkov. This update includes a new fully fleshed out story campaign with narrative arcs, character interactions, and a variety of missions that guide the player through the game's world. It's got 4 different unique endings. There is a prestige system, more map progression, a brand new map terminal, as well as a new faction and some improved weapon mechanics. Escape from Tarkov, you probably know it by now, but yes, it is finally coming into 1.0, as well as getting its Steam release on November the 15th. The Midnight Walkers is a hardcore PvPvE FPS zombie extraction game. Yes, I know there might be some genre fatigue here, but the zombie twist sounds neat to me, and I'm always interested in more games. All right, so you can play the game in solos or trios. You'll go around scavenging for loot to get gear, kill zombies, and deal with other survivors while you try to escape. Of course, if you make it out alive, you can then craft with materials, buy or sell more powerful equipment, but like most extraction games, if you die, you lose everything. The setting here is pretty interesting. It's set in what's called Liberty Grand Center. It is a giant mega complex made up of many floors, with each floor having a different unique theme. So there's like a hospital, a shopping mall, and a casino, and more coming as well. Beyond the zombies, you've got to deal with the other survivors. Now, as time passes in a match, this poison gas spreads to random floors, and you have to use elevators and or stairs to avoid the gas. These are the sort of things that restrict the play space to try to force more player conflict. It's class-based, with there being 4 classes. Brick is a warrior who uses a large hammer and heavy armor. Crow, the assassin, is quick and uses daggers. Lockdown is a sniper with a bow, and Margarita is a support class that mixes cocktails to heal and buff allies. Clever name there. I will admit, gameplay footage looks a little iffy, but I'll be happy if we end up pleasantly surprised. The Midnight Walkers will be launching on November 20th, coming to PC. And then finally on this month's list, we have got Of Ash and Steel. This is an immersive third-person open-world RPG created by a team that aims to capture the essence of classic old-school RPGs combined with modern designs. They say we'll be exploring the lands of a once prosperous island while honing our combat skills and surviving in the unforgiving realm of the Kingdoms of the Seven. So for combat and character progression, they are said to offer skill-based combat. Instead of starting as a hero, players have to learn to fight by combining combat stances, active skills, and and using the environment. There will be 3 skill branches. Players can invest in survival, which is cooking and healing, craftsmanship, which is item creation and equipment improvement, and war, which includes swordsmanship and physical strength. There's further customization with abilities being able to be customized, influencing how NPCs view the player. You'll be exploring this interesting world with no marker system, dynamic environments, tons of survival mechanics, and an immersive atmosphere. And for gameplay mechanics, they're promising to have world impact, where your actions will have a significant impact on the world based on the choices you make. Beyond combat, you can engage in other activities like cooking and crafting, and there's no level scaling. Enemies have fixed levels, providing a great sense of danger to, well, more dangerous areas that you'll have to wait until you're prepared to actually take on. This one actually looks pretty promising. It also has a Steam demo available right now if you want to check it out early. Of Ash and Steel will be launching on November 24th, coming to PC. All right, like I said, it's a little bit of a lighter month, but definitely stuff in here that I'm looking forward to. My current plans for the month is I'm likely going to be playing Arc Raiders for the first week or two, probably non-stop. Expect at least a couple of videos from me on this one. After that, I will plan to check out Where Winds Meet. I'm really hoping this multiplayer kind of quasi-MMO stuff turns out to be good. Also really curious about the game's PvP systems. After that, I think solo leveling could be some fun here. And then the last game I am most interested in is actually probably Of Ash and Steel, now that I take a look at the list again. Yeah, I'm gonna give that one a shot as well. All right, anything else coming November that you're looking forward to? As always, let me know in the comments below if there's something I missed that you're really looking forward to playing this month. But that does it for today. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.